So I think it was the summer of 2022. OpenAI came out with ChatGPT in the fall of 2022, right? Somebody check me on that. I was asked that same question, what's going to happen? But they gave me 5 years. They said, what's going to happen in 5 years in the contact center? And my answer at that point was, in 5 years, the agent is going to be sitting having very high EQ conversation with the customer, and the tool is going to be doing all the work. It's just going to be sitting back, creating relationship, checking and making sure that everything's being processed correctly. Anybody realize we're almost there? I mean, that is getting close. And so this is changing very, very fast. So the next up, we got a spotlight, service excellence refined, contact centers transformed by AI and intelligent automation. A lot more of that same trend. I think we're going to talk a little bit about AI most of the day today. So Jenny and Arpita, come on up on stage. Okay.
Thank you so much, and a big good morning. What an amazing keynote session today, right? Everyone feeling energized to hear about more? Okay, let's start with the grounding the truth. We talked about in the keynote session. The call volumes are not going down, is it? That is not our goal even. The goal and the focus is to diversify the channels that we have so that we can actually serve and help our customers much better. Correct? Now, if we want to go ahead and do that, we have to deliver with excellence. And that's not an option. That's a promise that we all have made when we have signed up with Contact Center. Now, in Canada Life, we have actually gone through that modernization journey. Now, when I say modernization, sounds like just an implementation. It is not. It is a transformation journey. And we are evolving as we speak. I'm Arpita Bhattacharya. I'm AVP of Contact Center Canada Life, and I'm going to walk you through the journey. Jenny is my partner in crime in Contact Center, but she has an emergency, so she is not here today. Now, before I go ahead and deep dive, sometimes this clicker. Before I deep dive a little bit into the journey, let's talk about our vision. Our vision is simple, but powerful. Our customers are constantly evolving, continuously changing. I think, Cheryl, you were talking about how they want to call, someone to chat, someone to email. That's true. They expect more every day. Actually, they deserve more. And we have made that promise, you remember? So we have to go ahead and deliver that. Now, when it comes to Canada Life, our vision was simple. Invest in a modern technology that is scalable, that is reliable, that is secure, that can go ahead and give that AI ecosystem that we are looking for, but at the same time, give that exceptional outcomes. But think from a customer standpoint. All they want is every interaction to be seamless, to be secure, and to have that best-in-class feel. But agnostic of channels. They don't want your voice to be better than your email than chat. They want every interaction to feel the same. But yes, technology can go ahead and do that. Technology is there to remove friction, to make our processes seamless. But do you just want to go ahead and keep up with it? We all want to stay ahead. And if you want to stay ahead, you have to empower our agents, make them feel heard. That means you have to go ahead and provide them the context so that they can go ahead and serve the customers faster, better, and more personalized. Now, to make that happen, and we talked about it in the keynote session too, what is the key? Data. It's like that compass, right, that goes ahead and tells you how to take the smarter decision, what do you want to go ahead and improve. Now, holistically, the vision statement is to go ahead and build a future-ready organization, which means you have tech, you have business, you have human expertise, even though you have AI, and you have data, all coming together to deliver that outcome we were talking about. Let's start with the problem statement, and I think many of you may resonate with this. Prior to 2024, because 2024 is when Canada Life started their journey of modernization, our problem statement was huge. Our contact center was very linear, siloed, manual. We assessed, and we found that we actually had very limited interaction channel. Customers only had few ways to engage with us. Self-service was minimal, and when I say minimal, that is a polite way of saying there was not much of self-service. Our operations were very manual, very fragmented. We didn't have the basic foundational capabilities like summarization, transcription, identity management. At the same time, we have hundreds of 1-800 number. Think of how confusing it is, how inefficient that is. And then, from a technology tech stack standpoint, it was pretty outdated. It didn't have the right end-to-end integration, which means our first layer of support was actually facing a lot more delays because they were doing things manually. Our second layer of support was also facing problems because we didn't have proper routing foundation, or rather, I should say, we were lacking of intelligent routing. And because of that, they were seeing a lot of delays, and they were creating frustration. Overall, when you go ahead and look at all of them, our operational cost was high. We were literally getting notes from CEO every other day saying, hey, you guys are going ahead and using so much money. Our resolution time was really, really high. And last but not the least, we had very inconsistent customer experience. And that is the key. At the end of the day, customer experience is the most important thing. So for us, transformation was not an option. It was essentially, we had to do it. And in 2024 was actually the year of modernization. And when I say that, a lot of people think it's just an upgrade of technology. But it is not that. We started redefining how customers will be served, how our teams will be empowered to make that outcome we are talking about to happen. Now, we brought in, obviously, a modern, scalable technology so that it can go ahead and become the backbone of everything. We got in Amazon Connect, Salesforce, and Calibrio. Now, that is literally laying down the foundation of the contact center, any capabilities that we are going to talk about in the next 20 minutes. But at the same time, we started building foundation. We did multi-channel enablement. We did a much stronger workforce management. We went ahead and brought in digital ID and authentication. We went ahead and did the routing foundation, and not just any routing foundation, a proficiency-based routing foundation. And with all of this, we were not just defining or predicting what things will look like. We were literally creating a segue of efficiency and customer experience. Now, when I say segue of efficiency and experience, it feels like, yes, we have done an upgrade, we have brought in a technology, but let numbers speak to what kind of efficiency we have actually gone ahead and achieved. So in the year of 2024, if somebody asks me, I always say it was an amalgamation of delivery resilience and operational efficiency. We did 21 different business units, and I am talking about very unique business units starting from life, health, retirement, you name it, in just 7 months. We migrated all of them with 0 platform downtime, so no impact to customer. We optimized those hundreds of 1-800 toll-free number I was talking about to just 150 of them, and we went ahead and migrated them. Again, no impact to customer. And I'm talking about a collaboration of more than 38 teams. If you ask my team, they will go ahead and say, oh, there were much more than that, but let's go with 38 for now. We had 14 major tech deployments, and we had more than 2,500 agents who was migrated in that whole 7 months. But we started seeing the efficiency improvements in the first quarter of 2025, right after we finished our migration. We saw a 94% reduction in wait time. We saw a 10% reduction in average handle time, resulted into a $7.5 million savings in just first half of the year, without bringing any AI capabilities. A 92% reduction in our average speed to answer, and a 2 to 4% reduction in the abandon rate. So the numbers are pretty impressive of what we saw. And we started continuously monitoring the trend to make sure that those numbers are real. Now, it not only helped with that, but it actually went ahead and expanded more. Our average handle time reduced by 47 seconds. We were able to go ahead and get in a performance framework, a much more enhanced performance framework. So it helped us monitor the performance of our agents. That actually helped us go ahead and build a much better coaching mechanism for our agents. And now our agents are feeling much more supported. They have the tools, they can see the data, and they are also getting supported in their coaching. They know what is the development area, what they need to go ahead and improve on, and we are helping them. With that, they now started feeling empowered, and we saw a high reduction in our attrition rate. And with that, we were also able to go ahead and maximize our resource allocation. I mean, Amazon Connect already have those capabilities. We leverage them. And we optimized more than 100+ agent onboarding. We brought in IVR optimization. We brought in call summarization. The moment the call summarization comes in, your after-call work reduces, for sure. But at the same time, your warm transfer reduces. You're bringing IVR optimization. So you're reducing transfer rates. Your first contact resolution is improving. So with all of this, we saw a 2% transfer rate reduction. But the most important thing when it comes to contact center, along with voice of the customer, is employee engagement. We are talking about transformation, which means it is actually a change. Each one of these agents is going through a change. They need to feel they're part of it. We had the best employee engagement survey in 2025. Actually, one of the best in the industry right now. We went ahead and got our shrinkage report, and that helped us to go ahead and see what is the non-productive time and measure that more accurately. Our voice of the customer survey has gone up significantly. So all of this data, yes, it helped us to improve efficiency. But more than anything, it helped us understand our employees better at the same time. Now, our agents are feeling part of the change. We are not imposing a change on them. They are actually feeling heard. They know their contributions matter. They know their voice matters. And that is what has made us successful to go ahead and do this modernization. Now, is that the only thing? No, I literally have a list of tips and tricks for you. The first and foremost thing was the perfect collaboration. So we talk about business, we talk about technology. They can actually collaborate, and collaborate as one goal, one team, instead of going ahead and thinking just from outcome perspective. The moment you go ahead and do that, everything is possible. But I'm dealing with like more than 21 business units. Every business unit is unique. They all have their own enhancement that they look for. They will all say, mine is the most critical one. So the most important thing is to go ahead and have the right prioritization so that we can go ahead and say which one will actually really help the organization. But at the same time, the mantra that we follow is no customization, because the moment you start customizing, you cannot go ahead and sustain it. Now, process and planning is obviously a key part to it, so I'm not going into the details of that. But one of the most important things that helped us was an iterative approach. Think of like building a house. You are literally putting a brick, testing it out, making sure that works, and continuously put more bricks in it so that the house is stable. That's exactly what we did. We went ahead and did smaller business units. We went ahead and did pilots, and then we learned through it and went ahead and expanded the whole migration. And we always started thinking beyond just the delivery. Change management, SWAT teams who can help us with production, testing, make sure that they are there all through, not just going ahead and testing in FITs or the UATs of the world, but real production. Have the agents be your partner in going ahead and doing the validations. And last but not the least, and something, a mantra of my own, is measure it to manage it. Not just go ahead and have the data and analytics to go ahead and give you insights about your efficiency, about your employees, but also how you are doing. What is working, what is not working. And that has actually helped us to go ahead and make things do better every time we had gone with the migration. Now, 2025, we continued the journey. I mean, it's a multi-year journey, so we are continuing it still. The 4 pillars that we always had in mind was seamless customer journey. the experience that they're getting. But the omni-channel enablement, because we are expanding across all channels. At the same time, empowering our agents so that they can provide the right context, because they are the face of Canada Life when it comes to contact center. And while we are doing all this, improve our operational excellence, because that helps with the cost. So we can balance the experience and the cost and the efficiency all together. Now let's talk about our 2025 journey. You can see the plane is soaring high out here. But in 2025, our vision was very simple. We wanted to go ahead and build an AI-powered ecosystem where we can go ahead and serve any client, any channel, and for any conversation. We went ahead and brought in contact summarization as our first AI capability, along with all other non-AI capabilities. Contact summarization not only helped us reduce the after-call work, all the warm transfers become so much easier for us because you are actually summarizing. And now think about contact summarization. We use that for custom summarization because areas like disability will go ahead and need custom summarization. So we use that, which can be used for any legal governance compliance purposes, because you need to go ahead and go with compliance when it comes to some summaries. We also brought in self-service. And when I'm talking about self-service, we enhanced both our chat and email along with voice. Our first self-service capability came on voice, which is a self-service IVR. But what we did is we also brought in our first ever chatbot. We call it Callie, short of Canada Life. But at the same time, we gave our customer the option to click to call. So think about this. We are resolving customers' issues, but in their own terms, at their own flexibility. We are diversifying channel from our end, but from a customer perspective, who is coming to chat and talking to Callie, and then said, you know what, I really want to talk to a live agent, can go ahead and just switch to a live agent right there, and then felt like I want to go ahead and give a call, can give a call to us just on a click of a button. Every channel, seamless interaction, and exactly same experience in just one form. That's the experience that we are bringing in when it comes to our customer. Now, obviously, we are going ahead and not stopping our AI journey. We are continuing with conversational IVR. We are continuing with custom summarization, email summarization, next best action. I mean, the moment you go ahead and have our chatbot there, you already have your chat summarized. The next thing that we are actually looking at in 2026, very immediate, is agent assist. So that the agent, I mean, think of how much time an agent spends on searching documentations in knowledge bases. One of our biggest problems, we have multiple knowledge bases, and I think it's a very common industry problem. So they spend so much time on it, and we will be able to go ahead and support them to reduce that time. And it will also help them predict what the next best action looks like. Now, with this AI ecosystem, we are not just going ahead and empowering, like giving that customer experience, but we are empowering our agent. We are giving them the context so that they can make every interaction much more personalized. They can actually have conversations with Arpita for Arpita, not just as Arpita as one of the customer or client. That was a game changer for us. Let's talk numbers. I love numbers, so let's talk numbers. So when we brought in the chatbot, we thought, oh yes, it will go ahead and bring us efficiency. It will go ahead and improve our customer experience, for sure. But what we saw was game-changing. We saw an 83% containment rate just through the chatbot. That means 83% of the chats were fully handled by chatbot herself, and we call her, for sure, herself. But that means 1,900 calls got deflected every week. And that's a trend that we are seeing since November. That we are actually freeing up our agents for those complex conversations Well, the simple conversations are fully handled by the bot. Now, what we noticed was amazing. We saw an 80% positive customer response because they are getting the answers so fast. They were really happy with the resolution time. We also saw actually queues sitting out there with agents where nothing came from a chat perspective because all has been handled by Kelly. The after-call work reduction that we saw from summarization and other AI capabilities was around 25 seconds per call. We brought in early identification and authentication, and that helped us 37% of automated validation. I'm talking about $500,000 saving in just 2 months. And that number is continuously growing. So when we built our chatbot, we started with smaller knowledge bases. And we are continuously expanding it so that it can serve better, and we can help the customer better. And that's what is helping us to go ahead and improve that number ever and ever again. Now, what does that mean in the 5-year plan? We are looking at a 1.1 minute average handle time reduction per call. We are looking at 200,000 call volume reduction, and we are looking at a $43.1 million cost savings in 5 years. The 2026 plan that I was sharing, with that, by 2031, it should be around 98 million. Now, are we on target? Yes, we are. We already have saved $10 million just in 2025. And that was possible not just because of technology. Obviously, the technology laid down the foundation so that we can use the features, we can use the capabilities. AI, another big piece to it, because we have done 5 AI capabilities, and we realized AI is no more a hype, it is real. I think, Andrea, you were talking about Copilot. We go ahead and use certain LLM models, and they go ahead and already do that along with Connect for us. We started seeing the benefits right there, right after. But at the same time, our agents started feeling more empowered. They have all the tools that they actually missed till 2024 to go ahead and serve the customer. Our customer feedback, our voice of the customer surveys are amazing right now. In short, that future that we are talking about for contact center, that is real. And I think the foundation that we have laid between 2024 and 2025 is actually a propeller to what we are looking forward to 2026 and beyond. And with that, I will go ahead and stop for questions.
Hello. Thank you, Arpita. And first and foremost, very impressive,
Thank you.
the stuff that you shared here today. So my name is Nino, and we as an outsourcer are facing an interesting hurdle with some of our clients. Some are very eager to take on AI, but others, as we redo and recalibrate our contracts, even though you have case studies, even though you show some benefits, there's hurdles on adapting to it, and they want to stay where they are. How did you overcome that with your teams? Any hurdle you faced, and how did you overcome it?
Always. Hurdle is the new normal, right? We always face the hurdles. But you're right. There are certain clients who doesn't want to go on AI. But there will be certain clients who are more aligned to it because they may be actually implementing AI in their world in other ways and forms. So what we went ahead and did is we implemented it first for them, start seeing the benefits, and brought those benefits to the tougher client so that they can move either from a neutral to a supporter. That helped us a lot. And at the same time, when we brought in our AI capabilities, we made sure we have the right governance, compliance, legal. Obviously, you have to keep track of all of those. But you start with simple information. If you start trying to make it conversational, you are opening up more can of worms, which will be difficult for you to explain. So learn from your simplistic informational AI implementation, and then start using it to go ahead and build a better story for the rest of the customer.
Same table. Hi. So I'm just curious to see what your experience is with the post-call summary. What are the challenges you have with it?
So the first challenge we had is we had protected B data in the call summary that was not getting redacted. Because when you are having a call summary that may have to go for a legal purpose, may have to use for a governance purpose, and not everybody can go ahead and see a certain amount of data. So the reduction was one of the most difficult piece for us. And we were able to work with Amazon Connect to go ahead and bring a solution for it, but it took us some time to go ahead and get that. The other thing that was a challenge, which we were able to overcome very recently, is to go ahead and customize the summarization, because the summarization is coming in a very structured format. Now you're trying to customize it because, I will take disability as an example, they need more information. They need intent recognition like appointments or medicine names, right? So you have to feed your AI with the right intent, with the right utterance, so that they can learn from it and help us build that custom summarization.
I have a question here. Very powerful presentation and really impressive what you were able to achieve in such a short amount of time.
Thank you.
My name is Elena Gartspain, and I'm from Novo Nordisk, Canada, so client side as well. My question is whether you have an internal team of agents, external or a hybrid, and just some of the decision-making behind the choice that you made.
We have an internal team of agents. We have a mix of contractors and our FTEs in that, but we try to go ahead and keep a core team always internally. And then you have the flex team, which is normally contractors.
Thank you. And I guess that's how you maintain the quality and the agent empowerment. Okay. Thank you very much.
I think I might be next. Thank you very much. Really impressive presentation, and the data is very impressive. I do have just a quick question. Do you anticipate your handle time increasing as your bot takes on more simple transactions, and your handle time would increase as a result of those exceptions, if you will?
So we haven't noticed an average handle time increase till now. What we're trying to do is an impact validation. So let's say a bot is answering a question. Does that mean that is generating a new call to us? That is what we are actually validating right now. What we noticed is 20% of our email channel went down, which tells us that those 20% actually is now handled by chat or our chatbot. What we are trying to go ahead and get to is make sure our self-serve IVR is prudent enough that we can go ahead and do most of the authentication, most of the simple conversation, so that our average handle time is not impacted. But we also have put a contingency, to your point, that there will maybe a slight increase in the average handle time just because how the information is flowing. But once it stabilizes, then it will normalize.
All right. Thank you very much. Help me thank for the great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, so far so good.